Welcome to Press Start to Join, a proud member of the Alberta Podcast Network powered by ATB. This is episode 223, and I'm Alan.
I'm Josh. I talk about the Smash Direct that smashed our expectations from the Grinch leak.
We've got a ton of news from Apple's event that happened this week.
I recommend a creepy show that Alan and I started watching.
And I recommend, you guessed it, another book series. But these books are relatively short, so it won't take you that long to get through, probably. So first up, we're starting a new month. And you know what that means.
This is going to be a huge episode. Holy crap.
I know it's going to be a big one because there's been a lot of stuff.
All right.
First up, let's try to get through all the free games of the month.
Woo.
On the Microsoft side, Xbox One, we've got Battlefield 1 from 2016. It's a first-person war shooter based in World War I and the 15th Battlefield title. I did not know there was that many.
I might actually play it now.
That looks pretty good. We've also got Race the Sun from 2017. It's an endless runner where you control a solar-powered spaceship and dodge obstacles while trying to keep up with the setting sun.
Ooh, it's an indie game, isn't it?
Yeah, I think I've played it on PC. I think I have it on Steam. And yeah, it's pretty fun.
Oh, yeah, I'm looking forward to that one.
On 360, Assassin's Creed. The first one. Just Assassin's Creed.
Oh.
From 2007. This is the first entry to the popular stealth action-adventure franchise set in a pseudo-historical conflict between the Assassins and the Templars in the Holy Land during the Third Crusade. Next up is Dante's Inferno. This was a very edgelordy game when it came out in 2010. It's an action video game very loosely based on Inferno, the first canticle of Dante's Divine Comedy, where you play as a Templar knight fighting through the 9 circles of hell to rescue his lover from Lucifer.
I was always interested, but never enough to spend money on it.
Well, I mean, now you can play it for free.
Yep.
And it's like this Templar dude who sewed a cross into his skin because reasons. Edgelord. On the Sony side of things, on the PS4, we've got Bulletstorm Full Clip Edition. It's the 2017 re-release of the 2011 original. It's a first-person shooter that encourages ludicrous and creative kills with style and crass humor. Their PS4 game for this month is Yakuza Kiwami from 2016. It's a remake of the first Yakuza game from 2006, and we talked all about the history of these games back in...
PS2J 211.
PS2J 211. Wow, I blanked on that. It's an action-adventure game with RPG elements in an open world set in the fictional district of Tokyo, where you have to navigate the intricacies of Yakuza life. On the PS3 side of things, you've got Jackbox Party Pack 2. They're up to 5 now, so it's a little out of date, but from 2015, it's a party game where people use their phones as controllers in a variety of different competitions. We've got Bidiot, Bombcore, Earwax, Fibbage 2, and Quiplash XL. And the other PS3 game is the Arcado series from 2012. It's a collection of 3 vintage-style games. We've got Jump, which is an 8-bit platformer, Swap, which is a Match 4 puzzle game, and Pixel, which is a platform adventure game.
Oh.
Then on the Vita, we've got Burly Men at Sea from 2016. It's a branching folktale-style game about a trio of large bearded fishermen seeking adventure. And also on the Vita is Roundabout, and this one looks weird. So this is the 2018 port of the 2014 PC game.
Oh.
It's an open-world indie driving game featuring a constantly rotating limo that you have to maneuver around obstacles and complete various objectives.
Rotating?
Yeah, so like the limo that you're trying to drive is always spinning.
Oh.
So, yeah, it's like pinwheeling through the world and you have to get it around stuff, and basically it's like Crazy Taxi in hard mode.
Whoa. Which it was always in hard mode for me, at least.
Oh, I know. Very difficult game. Well, I mean, it was an arcade game, so it's a token taker. And then on the Twitch side of things, on Windows, we've got AER Memories of Old from 2017, where you play as a magic shape-shifting girl who can transform into a bird, going on a pilgrimage into the land of gods to save reality itself.
That sounds so cool.
Yeah. We've also got Overcooked from 2016.
Nice.
The chaotic couch co-op cooking game for 1 to 4 players, where you have to work as a team to prepare dishes in a variety of suboptimal kitchens before the time limit.
When it's just the two of you, we have experience. When it's just the two of you, you get really hard on each other.
Oh, yeah. I think that's just like the nature of Overcooked is just anger and chaos.
Yeah, like it must throw more ingredients at you when you get more people.
Mm-hmm. Also from Twitch is The Pillars of the Earth from 2017. This is a point-and-click adventure game based on the Ken Follett novel of the same name, which is a historical novel set in the 12th century.
Oh.
It's, from what I remember, I read it years ago. It was pretty dang good. Very, very like epic, gritty, medieval style thing. So don't expect like magic and fantasy. It's very much like, hey, peasants and stonemasons and that kind of thing. Last free game this month is Overload from 2018. It's a first-person shooter where you have full movement in a zero-gravity environment based on the moons of Saturn. It's described as a spiritual successor to Descent and Descent 2.
Oh.
And with that, we're on to the news. First up, we've got all the details from Apple's More in the Making event that happened this week. First thing from there is a new MacBook Air has come out. It's got all the fancy stuff. It's got a Retina display. It comes in multiple colors. The ports kind of suck. 2 USB-C ports and 1 3.5mm audio plug, which is, yeah, it's not great. I mean, it's better than the basic MacBooks, which have a 1 USB-C port, but that's just not usable. So it's got Touch ID, but no touch bar. So they added the little Touch ID button in with the F keys. It has a backlit keyboard with a fancy new bigger touchpad with Force Touch, a smaller footprint with more powerful specs, and the same battery life as the previous MacBook Air. So that's going to have a lot of people very happy. That starts at $11.99 US or $14.99 Canadian, and that's available on November 7th. Next, we have a new Mac Mini, finally, after 4 years of waiting for a refresh on this thing. But it's fancy. It's got more power, it's got higher performance, and now it comes in space gray, the Pro color.
Finally.
Yeah. It's got a full suite of ports, which is great considering like all the other Apple stuff comes with like 4 USB-C and that's it. It has gigabit Ethernet, it has the 4 USB-C ports, it has HDMI, it has a couple normal USB-A ports even, and the 3.5mm audio jack. That one starts at $7.99 US, $9.99 Canadian, and is also available on November 7th. They also unveiled a brand new iPad Pro, and this one, it looks fancy. It's got an entirely new design that kind of looks like the iPhone SE with the more squared off edges instead of having them like rounded into the back.
Oh.
Yes, and it really makes it feel like a tablet computer instead of like an iPad. It's got a fancy liquid retina display, a lot like the iPhone XR, and no more home button, which means a smaller body, but still a bigger screen than last generation. They've also added Face ID, but fit it into the bezels so you don't have to worry about a notch coming into your screen like the iPhones have now. I won't get too far into the specs here because they threw a lot of numbers at us in the presentation, but with the new A12X processor, apparently these things are faster than 92% of portable PCs that were sold in the last year.
Damn.
Including models that have like i7 processors. Like, this is a full tablet computer. This isn't just an iPad anymore. Apple's actually saying that they're offering graphics comparable to the Xbox One S, and that they showed off NBA 2K19, and they're saying, yeah, like Xbox One S class graphics. And they were pointing out, like, look, you can see dimples in his uniform and sweat on his face. Okay. That's good, I think.
I don't play sports games. Is that normal?
Maybe. One of the biggest changes, though, to the iPad Pro is they're moving away from the Lightning port, which has been their jam since the iPhone 5, into USB-C for the connector.
Whoa.
And they're completely getting rid of the 3.5mm port on there as well.
Oh.
So, they've been doing that with iPhones for a while now, but moving it from Lightning to USB-C is a change that I think is good, and I think will slowly trickle out to the other iOS devices. But the change is always going to be painful, because, like, speaking personally, I have a bunch of lightning cables around. And, like, I'm completely covered if my stuff needs lightning, but I have 2 things that need lightning.
Yeah.
And those are probably going to decrease as I buy new iPhones and whatnot, and more USB-C comes out. I really hope that Apple sells decent USB-C cords for not a stupid amount of money, because USB-C cords can actually do a lot of damage.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. Well, because, like, right now with the MacBook Pro, the USB-C is used for charging. Actually, with all the MacBooks now, USB-C is used for charging. So that's a lot of voltage going over a cable. So instead of like, oh, haha, USB-C cable or USB cables don't matter because they just run the printer, whatever, either they work or they don't. Now, if they're made poorly, they can completely fry your electronics.
Oh.
Yeah, it's gone are the days where you could just get like a 5-cent USB cable from China and don't worry about it. It's like, these need to be made quality, or else you could start fires. You could have lots of bad stuff happen. It's a lot more than 5 volts going through them now. Let's see, where was I in the news there before I got on my factigent?
I'm glad you used our new phrase, factigent.
They're also bringing in a new Apple Pencil that magnets to the edge of the iPad Pro and charges wirelessly. So that is actually pretty slick. I guess the new iPad Pro has like over 100 magnets all along the edges, so you just stick the pencil wherever and then it'll sit there and charge.
Or the fridge.
So you don't have... I doubt it'll charge off the fridge, but you can try it.
Just hold it there.
Either way, it's much better than the original Apple Pencil, which just had a cap that you unplug to reveal a lightning connector, and then you just have it sticking out the bottom of your iPad for question mark amount of time. Wasn't a good idea. So these new iPads will start at $7.99 US or $9.99 Canadian, and they are also available November 7th. Additionally, they talked a lot about their environmental impact, and apparently all those new devices they're talking about are made from 100% recycled aluminum. Which is awesome. Just kind of a neat side note, yeah. It's a good thing. And one of the last things here is that iOS 12.1 is out, bringing everyone group FaceTime video chats with up to 32 people. I don't know 32 people, never mind have 32 people I'd want to see while I talk to at once. But
all with iPhones.
Yeah. One note is that the 5S, the 6, and the 6 Plus, they can do group FaceTime, but audio only. I guess they're a little too weak to do processing of that many videos.
But they're involved, which is still quite the feat.
Oh yeah, I think I was reading something like 63% of all Apple or of all iOS devices released in the last 4 years have the latest iOS 12.1 installed today. And it was released yesterday, the day before.
Dang.
Yeah, or earlier the week, I think. It also brings dual SIM support for the iPhone XS and XR. A bunch of new emojis. I think something like 70 new emojis. And as usual, more security updates. So definitely grab that update when you can. watchOS 5.1 was released for a short time, but was pulled after there were a few reports of devices actually being bricked by the update.
Oops.
So, I mean, once that's out, or if you manage to snag it and not lose your device, like I did, you'll have a nifty update for the fall detection. So now when fall detection calls 911 after you haven't moved for a minute after falling, it will play an audio message saying that there's been a fall, person hasn't moved, and it will give the operator your GPS coordinates.
Oh.
So that's really slick how it'll verbally say, like, if it has a GPS fix, it'll tell the operator, like, what's going on. In the previous version, in watchOS 5, it would just grab your GPS coordinates and text them to your emergency contacts when that happened. I presume either way, if it calls 911, it still tells their system where your cell phone is with their automated location whatsits that they've been doing for years.
Apple's going after the life alert market.
You're not wrong, but I mean, like, people have been looking for these kind of devices that can do fall alerts and do easy access to 911, and Life Alert hasn't really been good enough. They've been kind of resting on their laurels with, like, okay, here's a button on a necklace. This is like a fashionable device that has other uses that is also, it's going to save lives, and it's awesome. This week's episode is brought to you in part by Otherwise, a variety podcast dedicated to empowering diverse communities living on Treaty 6 land by sharing the stories of their lived experiences. In their latest episode, they explore the significance of land acknowledgement, what it means to be a treaty person as a newcomer immigrant, and the relationship between newcomers and Indigenous communities. You can check them out by going to otherwiseshow.com, following them on Twitter and Instagram at otherwise_show, and subscribing with your preferred podcast app. And with that, I do believe Josh has some news for us this week.
Well, it's less me and more Nintendo with a Smash Direct.
Ooh, fancy.
That they announced with only like a day or two's notice, which was crazy.
Yeah, I guess that's how they're doing it with Nintendo Direct. They don't need press conferences. They're just like, hey, here's a YouTube video. Watch it whenever.
I flushed out my notes with extra stuff from a website called Gaming Age, which actually seems really nice. I'm going to have to start checking them out on a regular basis.
Cool.
So the Grinch leak was an amazing fake, and with every leak, it's best to treat it as a fun thought experiment.
I'm sorry, Grinch leak?
That's what the last leak we reported on was dubbed, the Grinch leak.
Why was it dubbed the Grinch leak?
Because part of the leak was that he was from an advertising firm, and they were also doing advertising for the Grinch.
Oh, okay.
So
that was the one we talked about that had like all the characters rearranged, so it seemed it was difficult to Photoshop.
Yeah. And there's people that were upset, like they were owed these characters after the leak, and it's like, if you're not treating it like a thought experiment, you're going to be disappointed every time.
Yeah, any news that doesn't come straight from like the company, it's, hey, that'd be cool if it happened. And just wait for confirmation.
So don't be offended that they didn't add Banjo or Shadow. Just be happy they got every character they did.
Mm-hmm.
So the final two characters to the roster are revealed: Ken and Incineroar.
Oh, okay. So more Pokemon.
Ken was like wanted as soon as Ryu was announced, of course. But so was Shadow.
It's such an easy Echo fighter. You don't even have to reskin anything. It's just the same moves.
No, they retooled all his moves because Ken does more kicks.
Oh, okay.
And
well, I don't know Street Fighter.
And he also has two final smashes just like Ryu, which are also completely unique looking animations.
Oh, fancy.
Incineroar is our first wrestler to enter Smash Bros.
Yeah, I saw a gif of some of the suplexes he was pulling off.
And he might become my new main, because after every successful attack, he does an automatic pose for the camera, which can be canceled at any time, so it does not interfere with gameplay.
That's the best. Okay, cool. So, yeah, nothing but Incineroar. Incineroar only, Final Destination.
Yeah, it might be. Other than that, like, it's just talking about movesets, but we have a lot to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
So there was a leak a while ago where they depixelized a picture and said the extra menu was called Spirit, and nobody knew what that meant. Turns out it is called Spirit.
Oh.
So it's this new Spirit mode, which these spirits are taking over the place of trophies from past Smash Bros.
Interesting.
Essentially, a spirit is an avatar from any included franchise that has been involved with Smash or potentially Nintendo at all.
Oh.
So the main way to gain these spirits is to battle them, and when you are to battle a spirit, one of the playable characters from the game is like a puppet, and then the spirit adds like different attributes to it to make it seem more like you're fighting that character.
How so?
Like, one example they gave that was a really good one was Lakitu. Or, yeah, he throws the spikies, right?
Yep.
So, the Lakitu spirit battle was you fight a Lemmy, Bowser Jr., and 3 tiny Bowsers. like the spikies.
Love it.
So these are like made up fun battles using existing characters and just slightly tweaking the rules of the game to make it fit, to basically make you have fantasy battles against anything. One of them is like Gutsman from Mega Man. They just make a giant Mega Man that's orange that throws you a lot. Like,
okay, so they tweak up the movesets too.
Yeah, they just change the AI, change the abilities. Like, I think it's a really cool idea, and it's gonna add a lot of lifetime to this game.
Yeah, so that's just like there's a bunch of set pieces like that modify AI characters for basically boss fights.
It's like it seems to be its own mode in one way.
Yeah, but I mean, like it's all about just these modifications to characters for people versus AI fights, is what the spirits are, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
And you can also get a primary spirit to be like your ally, and then you can power them up with other spirits to sort of make the character you're playing more powerful. And you can sort of gamble with your spirit power by playing against other players while you all using spirits.
Interesting. So
Yeah.
that's kind of like the custom fighters from the last Smash.
Yeah, but with more of a game system behind it than just a collect the best one.
Yeah.
Spirits also seem to be involved in a lot of wait-to-play game types that have been really popular on cell phones.
Oh, yeah?
Where spirits you've collected can go to train. So basically, while your console's off, they're training and getting more powerful. Then when you sign back on, you check up on them and they level up.
Oh, neat.
And then there's other things you can send them on missions, and it seems like they can get you more gold to buy stuff in the shop, because the Smash Bros shop like unlocks more music tracks and Mii Fighter costumes, and you can buy them with in-game currency. There seems to be no way to purchase this in-game currency with real money as of yet, which is good news.
Yeah, definitely. You don't want to start getting microtransactions into our Smash.
Yeah, well, the DLC is its own thing, but it's...
Well,
Yeah.
DLC and microtransactions are two different things, I'd say, because it's not micro. They're not expecting like $1 here, $1 there. DLC is like fresh new content. It's not access to existing content.
And as a bittersweet addition, not included as a playable character or assist trophy, we do get Shantae as a spirit in the game.
Oh, that's something.
Yeah. Way Forward is
and more
really
access
happy
than
about
Waluigi's getting.
He's an assist trophy.
Oh, is he? Okay. Well,
He
that's,
has been since
something.
the last Smash Bros.
I don't remember.
He's got his tennis racket, and he basically runs up to opponents and stomps them into the ground.
Oh, okay, I'm remembering now. Neat.
They announced more assist trophies. They now have over 59, which means there's more assist trophies than Pokemon in the game.
Finally.
So these assist trophies cover a wide variety of games, and the ones that stood out to me that aren't limited to this Smash announcement: Fatal Frame, Virtual Fighter, Street Fighter, and Shovel Knight.
Nice.
The horror game Fatal Frame makes a cameo in this. That's amazing.
That's going to be great. Fatal Frame versus Shantae. Go!
It seems like one of the characters from one of the Fatal Frames stands in the background and takes pictures of people stunning them.
Okay, so
Very
it's not
Fatal
like
Frame.
ghosts appear and you can only see them when the flashes happen?
No. That would be more terrifying. Oh my god.
I know, it'd be so cool!
The new adventure mode looks pretty badass. It's called World of Light, and it seems to be quite tied into this new spirit system. And the opening cinematic is pretty badass.
Oh yeah, I think I heard something about it where it's like characters are being abducted and transformed into dark versions or something.
Well, since you can go watch it on the Smash Direct, the opening cinematic they show is every fighter standing on a ridge ready to fight off this incoming invasion of Master Hand.
Ooh.
And all these different Master Hands are like flying down. And there's this one crazy looking thing that's like all these colors, and it's like a weird shape. I don't know. You can tell it's like a mothership sort of thing.
Neat.
And it's cool because they have Fox, Zelda, Marth, and one other person. Well, they all speak in English to each other.
Oh, weird.
That was a neat touch.
Yeah.
Kid Icarus, that kid. Yeah, they all... And Pit, right. Come on, Josh, Kid Icarus. It's Pit. Yeah, they all talk to each other before it. And then when this evil force is about to attack, Shulk realizes what happens. That they're all going to die. And some people say that that's when he let Kirby have the Speed Force from his thing. And it's not Speed Force, but Monado Speed or whatever.
Yeah.
Because Kirby's the only one to escape this ravaging of the whole cast of Smash Bros.
Oh, geez. Okay, so I guess in the campaign you start off playing Kirby?
Yeah, it sure looks like that, which is fine. And it's also funny because Sakurai started off with Kirby in Nintendo.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Smash is by HAL Laboratories.
Yeah. And it was just really funny how some of the characters tried to avoid getting annihilated. The Inklings are looking at all the people get obliterated, so they shoot the ground and then go to hide in the ink. And then all this action is happening, and then all you see is a cardboard box, and then it gets obliterated. It's like Snake tried. Other than that, like, it looks like it's going to be a really epic, wide adventure. It's going to be a big adventure, this new World of Light mode.
That's awesome.
And they gave lyrics to the Smash Bros theme, which is different.
Oh, yeah, that is weird.
Moving on, the Mii Fighters are still a thing, and they have cool new outfits.
Awesome.
The ones that stood out to me are Yiga Clan, Ninja from Breath of the Wild, and Chibi Robo.
Well, that's always fun.
And then Mark II, I can't remember. It's this, like, it looks like a Gundam a little bit. I really liked it. And with the portability of the Switch, you can play with your friends wirelessly and conveniently, just like we did with the 3DS.
Awesome.
In just local wireless searches. Online play is totally revamped. Now there's no play for fun or play for serious rules. You just go into online mode, set the rules you want to play with, then it finds people that are also looking to play with those rules or extremely similar, and then once you get matched up, it picks between the two people which rule set to go with.
Okay, that could be cool.
Yeah. And then if you're playing with a friend on the same console, it will do the same sort of search, but also find another pair of people that are on the same console willing to play.
Oh, so kind of similar to what Overwatch does, where it tries to find similarly sized groups. Cool.
And I never understood the global Smash ranking on the previous game, but they explained it with this one. It gives you a number. So the higher the number means the better you are, because your number represents how many people you are more skilled than.
Okay, so number 1 is bad.
Yeah. So, like,
Gotcha.
300,000 is pretty good.
Cool.
And then they did make a note that as people are playing Smash Bros, your number will fluctuate because there will be more people.
Well, yeah, even if you don't play, other people will get better or worse than you, and continuing on.
They also added background matchmaking, so you'll be able to get some practice in while you're searching in, like, a practice mode or maybe just a simple battle. You can't do anything too extravagant, but it's better than just looking at a loading screen.
Oh, yeah.
And they have this thing called custom battle arenas. It's like a screen that shows bleachers, an arena, and a lineup. You can place your token in any of these spots, so you can be a spectator and watch the fights. You can add yourself to the arena if there's space, and if there's no space, you can add yourself to the lineup, so when the battle's over, you'll be moved in. So you can sort of have like a online party that's just rotating through battles.
Oh, that kind of reminds me of ARMS, the online play.
I did not play it to ever see that.
Yeah, well, basically you had like 10 people in a lobby, and then it would randomly match people up in matches of like 1v1, 2v2, 3 for all, and just like shuffle everyone around and do different matches as people would become free.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so it's like pseudo matchmaking within a limited pool, and that pool, as people leave and join, gets different cast. So this sounds kind of similar.
Yeah. And then while you're playing online, you have a smash tag, which is essentially just a character you like with your country's flag, your name, and a color you like. And that tag is sort of the trophy you give when you get beaten by someone. But it's not
neat.
But it's not like you lose it. So when you beat someone else, you gain their smash tag. And it'll tell you the country they came from, the character, the color they like, and then how many battles they've won.
Okay, cool. So you got like a trophy case. It's like exchanging business cards.
Yeah, and what's really cool is these smash tags can be exchanged for gold coins in the game's shop.
Oh, neat.
Yeah. We talked about DLC earlier. There's going to be 5 packs that have a character, a stage, and songs that go with it.
Neat.
They're going to be $5.99 US, and the Fighter Pass is 5 packs for $24.99 US. So
Could
a little
be
bit of a
worse.
saving. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then as an early purchase bonus, not a pre-order bonus, Piranha Plant is a character? Question mark, exclamation mark, question mark, interrobang.
Yeah, I feel like Piranha Plant might be the new Duck Hunt, where it's just like, why?
His moveset is super trolly. Like, he has this one where he recedes into his pot and then shoots out super far, but the enemy can hit the pot so it can tip over, so he can get weird angles.
Interesting.
And honestly, Piranha Plant is salt in the wound to all the fighters that didn't make it.
Yeah, it's definitely a bold choice from Sakurai.
Yeah, because Ken and Incineroar were like, oh, cool. Yeah, I get that.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like, you have a knife in your gut? You want me twist it? You want me lime it? You want to salt it? Piranha Plant.
Yeah. So you all know the Alberta Podcast Network is powered by ATB, but you know who else the ATB supports? The Pride community in Alberta. They're lighting it up rainbow style for Pride across Alberta every year, from their building in downtown Edmonton to their Pride Brick Road at their Stephen Avenue branch in Calgary.
That's awesome.
Yeah, ATB is a longtime partner of Camp Firefly and Firefly in Schools. I wasn't pronouncing that right because it has a capital Y instead of an I. And the R and the E are backwards a little bit. So that'll help you Google it, because that didn't come across in my read. If you've seen ATB's Pride MasterCard ads, chances are it's made you cry with its accepted everywhere message. So you can always check out more at atb.com/listen. And with that, we're on to the tidbits of the week. First up, it looks like Red Dead Redemption 2's HDR support isn't actually HDR. The vast majority of the game is shown in a standard range, even if you have the setting turned on.
Oh?
For anybody who doesn't know, HDR is something that a lot of modern TVs support, that basically it lets you have increased contrast. The darks are darker, the brights are brighter, versus the standard range, which is a narrower, bright, dark contrast spectrum. I guess what's happening is when Red Dead Redemption turns on HDR, it's just kind of an HDR wrapper over the standard range game.
Oh.
So things like campfires, the sun, and certain heads-up display elements use the HDR range, where the game is just all standard range. So it's a weird choice.
They did so much else for the game. Don't be all upset about that.
Yeah, well, I mean, and a lot of people are saying that the game still looks amazing. It's just kind of weird to say you have HDR support and it's just certain tweaks happen, but it's not an actual full HDR game.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah. Got some great news for Castlevania fans. Just days after Season 2 dropped, it has been renewed for a third.
Good. Oh my goodness.
Haven't finished the second one yet. I think I'm about half to 3/4 of the way through. Oh, it's so good.
It is.
Castlevania is just amazing.
I don't want to ruin anything, but if you saw the first season, don't worry. They finished it. They finished the story.
Awesome. And speaking of good things, Disney's released a new Women of the Galaxy art book examining female characters in the Star Wars universe. You've got everything from Ayla Secura to Zam Wessel in there, with art for each of them from a group of 18 different women illustrators, as well as an explanation and background of each of the 70 characters' histories from writer Amy Ratcliffe.
I feel like such a dork because I'm like, oh, you got everyone's favorite Twi'lek Jedi all the way down to your shape-shifting bounty hunter.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there's even, I saw some stuff on Polygon about it. There's even some stuff about the Ewok princess.
Finally.
And she's kind of badass.
Never heard of her, never seen her.
I'm definitely looking forward to getting this book, that's for damn sure.
Was that like Caravan of Courage stuff? Like, what the hell?
I have no clue. It's just, it's a white Ewok, so maybe?
The only one.
Yeah, I mean, maybe she was in the movies and just not named, because which of the Ewoks got a name?
Wicket?
Yeah, that's it. That's the one.
And no, the chief had a name. Of course, I can't remember that.
I was gonna say, like, if you can name it, I will give you $20.
Hashtag fake nerd boy.
Well, before we get over to recommendations, now's that good old time where we ask you to, if you like our show, give us a rating and review over on iTunes or wherever you're listening. All that just helps us get more visibility and into more ears.
Yeah, and if you want to let us know directly that you're enjoying it, we're on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all at PS2J Show. And our email, if you want to let us know privately, is ps2jshow@gmail.com.
We've also got ps2jshow.com, which is arguably one of the best ways to listen. We've got all the episodes searchable by tags, there's comment sections, all that fun stuff. And every episode has a link to our Discord, where you can come and chat with us, drop tips, or just play some Overwatch.
I give announcements when I'm uploading the RSS, so your podcatcher can listen to us right away. And also, our Patreon chat is on our Discord, where Patreon subscribers get exclusive content, like the secret project I'm working on for PS2J 250.
Yeah, they can also listen in live to the recording sessions. So, as always, a big thank you to the Alberta Podcast Network, powered by ATP, without whom a lot of this would not be possible. You can check them out at albertapodcastnetwork.com.
And thanks to Kevin McLeod for making all the awesome music I use in our shows. He can be found at incomptech.com, and he's the soundtrack to the internet.
So, Josh, what do you have a recommendation for us this week?
That sounded very presumptuous, like I'm going to say exactly what we watched last night, because I am saying Channel Zero Candle Cove.
It is very good.
I thought I'd like it. I didn't think I'd love it.
Mm-hmm.
I need to finish it. But I
definitely
need to see it with you, because I felt like that was I was both more focused and more involved with the show, having someone to sit and watch it with.
I hear that. Yeah, bounce theories off of, that kind of thing.
Yeah, between episodes, the 5 seconds, it's like, what do you think was...
Yeah.
Or just the short burst of exclamation when you, like, piece something together.
Yeah, so for anyone who doesn't know, Channel Zero is kind of like an American Horror Story kind of thing, where each season is a different standalone story. This one, Candle Cove, it's really cool. It's a whole, like, weird supernatural-esque murder plot.
Yeah. So far we've said it's The Shining, It, Stand By Me.
Yeah.
All in one. And Nightmare Muppets.
Yes, that is true too.
I can't describe much of it without ruining it, other than I think the series description explains a child psychologist goes back to his hometown where he believes a children's TV show is the cause of murders 20 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And we've been watching it on Xbox Video. Do you know if there's anywhere else that people could be watching?
Oh, I was actually going to bring that up. I don't know, because in Canada it's hard to get content like that, but it's a Syfy original?
Yeah, so if you can watch sci-fi stuff, it'll be wherever that happens, probably.
Yeah.
And my recommendation this week is the Murderbot Diaries, because I realized, searching through my notes, I haven't recommended this before, somehow, which is insane. I was positive I had, but they're so good. It's a series of books. It's 4 books, starting with All Systems Red, following the titular Murderbot, who is a manufactured security unit hired out to prospectors exploring new planets, who has managed to basically jailbreak itself so that it can watch TV that it downloads secretly between doing its job and dealing with the neuroses of working with humans.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
And it's really cool. It's such a relatable human character that has absolutely zero interest in being human, which is kind of great. Every book in the series has a really satisfying arc all on its own, while still telling one continuous story. Like the next book will pick up right where the previous one left off. There's no downtime between. The 4th and final book, Exit Strategy, came out at the beginning of October and makes a great finale to a wonderful series.
Interesting. I really got to get a rhythm down and start reading more.
Well, and one nice thing is the Murderbot Diaries, all the books are relatively short. Like, I think I finished Exit Strategy in maybe 2 days.
That will not relate to my read time.
Well, I mean, still, it's a short book is what I'm saying.
Yeah. Yeah, my adult life of picking up a book to just read it, I started 2, and I'm almost done the 1, and the other one's a physical book, and I just keep forgetting about it, because it's, you gotta sit and read it, and you can't lay down or you get a neck cramp.
You gotta hold it up, you gotta turn pages, it's just a pain.
The other one's on a phone, so you can just swipe a phone. Don't worry, I'll tell everyone when I finish it.
Awesome. Well, with that, I do believe we're done for this week. So as always, thank you all very much for listening.
And thanks for pressing start.